this video, I'm gonna show you my final project of the Building Virtual Environment course. And I made a room escape type game. Before, it's the pure play mode of my game. And you've already seen that the name of my game is Dream Escape. So first, I'm gonna show you the 4 levels I created for my game, including the main menu level, world tree, modern home, and end level. And also, I made a lot of widget for it and used a lot of C++ classes. So let's first check the main menu. You can see that I made a pure empty level for the main menu level and add 2 blueprints nodes to the level blueprints, including the create widget and the add to viewport. So in the end level, just change the class here and you can get the different widget. And here are all widgets that I made. For this level, it will use the main menu widget, option widget, how to play widget. So because there are a lot of things that I need to cover in this video, I'm just gonna ignore some duplicated thing and try to only explain the specific particular thing that I did. Here is the main menu widget. I add 4 buttons here and including start, options, how to play and quit. And for every button, I add a unclicked event for that. For example, for the start one, it will just open the world tree level, and for the quit button, it will just quit the game. And these two are different because these 2 buttons will remove the parent widget, which is the main menu widget, and open a new widget, option widget, and how to play widget. Also, don't forget the add to viewport. So for the option widget, I made a slider which can control the volume of the background music. And this is how I did that. And for the how to play widget, I add something that can teach the player how to control the character and get a better experience. Also, these 2 widgets have the back button, which can remove the parent widget, which is itself, and come back to the main menu widget. Next, I'm gonna show you the audio part. First, I need to prepare some .wav audio file and import it into the game. Also, I need to right-click the file and create queue for that. If I want to use this small audio file, I will just drag the queue into the scene, and the background music will last until we leave the level. Next, I want to talk about the end level because it's very similar to the start level. So this is the end widget that I made for my game. It will include the restart button and quit button. Also some sentence that I want to say to the player. And here's one important thing about these 2 levels, is that the game mode. Because I need to keep my mouse visible for the whole time, so I made a separate main menu game mode and a main menu player controller, and set it like this. So when I hit play button, I was still able to control the mouse here instead of just click and it will disappear. Okay, so next I'm gonna talk about the world tree level. Here is the world tree level. And actually everything here, I've been talking about them in the particle and material videos that you can find in my channel, so I'm not gonna say it again. And all these materials, it's made by myself. The only different thing is that I add a trigger box here. We can check the level blueprint. And here is a reference to the trigger box called on-actor begin overlap, and it will just lead the player to the next level, modern home level. So the reason why I create a level like that, because I would like to make the Dream Escape game as a series, and each game will start it from this world tree. But which dream next is randomly picked up, maybe a sweet dreaming, maybe a nightmare. So that's all about the world tree level, and let's come to the final level, modern home level. And here is the modern home level. For this level, I'm gonna separate it into 3 different parts. First is inventory creation and manipulation, including add, remove items. Second part is the blacklight puzzle. It needs the response to the poster. And the final part is the statue puzzle. It includes the order and rotation door. So first, let's come to the inventory creation and manipulation. I will just talk about some important part and skip some repeat simple part. And nearly everything here is made by C++ classes. So let's first check how this inventory widget looks like. It's like that and include a white background, black one up here, and a slot to help manage the item's image here. And for each item, it has a bigger background and a smaller plane that can allow the image show here. And for the inventory widget, we want that we can control which item we pick up, so we need a switch to int like that, linked to set visibility and collapsed visibility. We need to arrange it to every part of the inventory package. So for the event graph, it will look like that. This two part is easily to be ignored, but we need to add it. Linked to the class2character controller, and we'll talk about the character controller later. And for the load items, it will look like that. So we need to make sure that the inventory widget is always visible for the character, so I connect this bounce activity and inventory widget all to the event begin play, so it will always exist in this level. And now let's look some codes. You can see that I add some like inventory plus, inventory minus, add to inventory, remove from inventory, something like that to the character controller head class, and also compile it to the character controller.cpp. So this part is how we set the movement of the player character. And this part is about the plus inventory and minus inventory. Also, we had an item head class and an item.cpp. So we set the item name item ID is touched is visible as the constructor of the item. And here's the constructor to set the default value to them. Finally, for the Dream Escape game mode base, here is the items database. So for the item database, we arrange each item ID and the image and the item here. Also, we need to set the character controller, all the pickable objects, whittling items. Beside that, we also need to check the world settings. It's not the same as the main menu level and the end level. We use the Dream Escape game mode and the my character controller at the default pawn class. So basically, this is all the inventory creation and manipulation, and add remove items. Next, we'll talk about the black light puzzle and the posters. For the black light puzzle, we added spotlight to the black light item, and here's a trigger box. We name it as a black light trigger box. Only when the trigger box has connection to the static mesh poster here, another poster will appear and the original poster will disappear. Like that. So here's the code about this. So add two functions, over poster and left poster. And these are the body of the function, very similar to each other. And for the poster, we add a static mesh here to avoid repeatedly coding. And about how can we do that? Just two poster overlap each other. And for this part, the hint is that the player can collect 3 statues: lever statue, plant statue, and plant out statue. And we have 3 posters that can be blacklight interaction. And these 3 different posters have the different materials. So this one is the plant material, this one is the lever statue material, and this one is plant out material. And the number behind it indicates the order of the 3 statues. Only if the player places the 3 items in the right order here will the door rotate and open. So we come to the third part, statue puzzle. And you can see that there are 3 plates. On the plates, there are 3 same statues in the same position. And each place was default to be invisible, only if the player has an interaction with the trigger box. And which one to be visible is decided by the item ID that the player holds with the items here. We can check this by the code. So this part of code decided which one to be appeared, and this part of code have 3 similar parts of it, decided whether the order is right or not. And only if the 3 statues are put in the right order, the door will rotate. So we set the door to rotate yaw, and here the little animation that I made for the door, but unfortunately because the player is too far from the door, so the player cannot see the animation here. I use the tangents instead of the straight one to make the door open smoothly. And once the door is open, the player will enter it, and this particle effect is also included in the particle video that I uploaded before. And here's another trigger box has the same function as the world tree trigger box to take the player to the next level, which is the end level. So till now, the player can wake up and escape the dream. And here's a little thing that I add some plant statue here to be viewed by the character so that it is more convenient for the player to check whether this character is right or not. So that's all about the final project that I did. And I really have a good time taking this course. And I'm pretty sure that I would like to be a game designer or game developer. For this whole game, the modern room scene is mostly imported, and I changed it a little bit. And the C++ classes will mostly have a reference to the Kismesh Studios. It is really hard to narrow the scale of the game, so this game would be a little bit too large. and the file seems a little bit chaotic, and I think it will be better next time. So hope you enjoy the video and see you next time.